People design and make cities, and people design spaces in the city, different types of spaces, indoor spaces, outdoor spaces, uh, semi-outdoor spaces, and we experience these spaces in the city. We all experience spaces in the city. In some spaces, we feel good. In some spaces, we don't feel good. Imagine yourself. You are experiencing a space, and you don't feel good there. Imagine someone is experiencing that space, like a child, a 10-year-old boy or girl, and a woman or an elderly person. Maybe they don't like that space, so you can ask them that why don't you feel good in that space. They may answer different things, but most of the time the common answers are like, I don't feel good here. The space is not actually for me. It doesn't uh, give me the what I need. And also they explain that the people who designed it never talked to me. They never heard my voice. So the question is it possible to design this type of spaces with all? I think it is possible. And I'd like to tell you few stories how we can design these spaces together. So this is Corail, the largest low-income settlement of Dhaka city. We call it slum. Many people live here. Here you see how the people are building their houses, their spaces, and you see many children here. So when we ask these children, what do you love to do? They say, we love to play. And when you ask, can you make your play space? They say, yes. Then where? They may, show somewhere. And when you ask them, can you design your space? They say yes. And they draw something like this. And they drew their play space inside a beautiful garden. Then they showed us that they want to make it here. Then we obviously will ask that how these children can make these spaces here, how they will do it. So children are very intelligent, and you have children in your family, and you know that how they achieve things. They are very good at achieving things from others, their relatives, their friends, their parents. From the very from their birth, they know how to achieve that thing. So they went to their parents, friends, and their neighbors. They didn't go to big people or big organizations. And slowly they cleaned the space, and they started their garden, and inside the garden their play space. And within few months they turned it to a beautiful garden. And uh, actually it's not enough. They don't have enough space to play for all these children. So they wanted to extend the space. They wanted to build a platform, bamboo platform on the water, the lake around Corail slum. So again, they went to their parents, their uncles, and they found also an uncle, an architect uncle, as their neighbor. So together they built their play space on the water. It's beautiful. They made it. Then they it's their space, so they try to maintain it. They take care it, and when people own it, these children made it. I mean, we call it co-creation. These children, they co-created this space. So now I would like to share another story where women groups, low income women groups, they co-created with few professionals, co-created their communities in Jhenaidah. Jhenaidah is a small city in the southwestern part of Bangladesh, and around 250,000 people live in the municipality. And this is how they got together. They saved together. Then they found local architects, local engineers, local community organizers to help them to do their work better. So in the beginning, they started to map their community. They started to see what they have in their community. All of them, they are from the communities. They are someone's mother, someone's daughter. All of them, they did it together. They plan for the future, where their roads will be, their open spaces, their houses, everything. They mapped and planned. Then when we asked, how do you want to build your house? So they made models. All of them made models, this type of models. And when you ask that, how can you build this big house with little money you have? You know what she answered? This lady, she said that I'm not going to build the whole house at once. I'll build it step by step, incrementally. First, maybe the downstairs, one room with two-story foundation, then slowly I'll build it. And then we asked them how you are going to build, who will give you the support. They said that we have money, we have saving group, and we take loan from the saving group. It's our saving group. Then we give it back to our own community savings network. Then eventually they built it with a little support from Asian Coalition for Housing Rights to have their seed fund. They built 38 of this type of houses, and they how do you know how much it cost? It costed only 12 1,20,000 taka. That means it's around less than $1,500. And it's only possible. I mean, if you give me the responsibility, I can't build this within that amount of money. It's only possible because they were together. It's the magic of the community. It's actually the magic of this community-led process. Then, they are powerful. They are powerful because they are together. They are powerful because they have savings, so they have money, and they are powerful because also they are connected in the whole in the whole city. So another thing is that information is very powerful, but information, if the information collected by others, then it's not powerful. They need to collect the data by themselves. So what they did, these women groups in the city, they have 63 communities in the city. So they collected data by themselves, all information of all the communities. They also measured their community, the boundaries of the community by GPS, everything by themselves. The professional designers or architects, engineers, they just help them to do it in a better way. So when anyone go to this community, actually this process got award, architecture award, and many people uh, go to this community to visit them. And when people ask them, who built these houses? And they immediately answer that we built it. Then many people, they want to hear maybe something else. So then what the architects and the engineers did with you, and they think a little bit and reply, they gave us courage to do it by ourselves. So that now the question in our mind, that if the community people, this women group, can design the community, why can't the city people, all of us, can design our own city? Why do we need people from outside? Can't we design our own city by ourselves? So we got together in Jhenaidah city. We got together, all local architects, local engineers, local different groups like children group, women group, men's group, uh, teenage girls, teenage boys, sports group, cultural group, theater group, cyclist group. All we sat together on the city map, and we wanted to plan the city together. Like the children, they want certain things. They are very inclusive. They want certain things not only for themselves, they want things for all. Then when we ask teenage girls, their their needs and aspirations are different than the children. When we ask the elderly people, they are different, and they also see the changes of the city. They also see the changes of the spaces of the city, how the good spaces are disappearing. And all of us, all of this group, we sat together. Then we designed and focused on particular aspects, like how we can design our open spaces in the city. And we focused on the riverside and the pond side, because the ponds and rivers are now in threat. And we came up with lot of ideas, lot of dreams together. Then the professionals like engineers, architects, or others, those who call themselves designers, they actually don't need to design from the first day. They can organize people's dreams and make can co-create images like something like this. It is a big step. It's a big step and walking path by the river. So when we actually co-create this type of image together, it's not someone's design. It's the design of all. So when these images are created, then all the people, they want to achieve it. And when you show this to the policymakers like mayors and DC and others, then you will find them also on your side, and they will also help you to build this type of thing. And when they saw this image, immediately the municipality started to build this. So you see, it's now this, and it's the outcome of this people-led process. So in the end, what I wanted to say, that to co-create this type of spaces and this type of initiatives needs to be needs to be homegrown. I mean, someone else from other places cannot do it for you. It's your place. It's our place. If I am in the city, then it's my place. All the city people, they can do it by themselves. But if you need some help, obviously, of course, you need some help, some technical help or some knowledge from outside. So you can invite other people, your friends from other cities, your friends from other countries, to help you. But most of the things you can do it, but that's the courage we need to put it in ourselves. And and when we get together, we can achieve all the things. I call myself, and I prefer to introduce myself as a community architect. And there is a growing number of community architects in home and abroad. Many people are now calling themselves community architects. You may not need to be, trained architect to call yourself a community architect. And when we walk on this path, on this path of co-creation, you will find lot of people have been already walking on this path. It's a big network of good hearts, happy people, and beautiful minds. So you can be connected, and when you connect yourself, then it's already big. And this is how you can scale up. If somebody wants to scale up the product, it will not help. Someone needs to scale up the process, the philosophy of this process. So if someone wants to do it in somewhere else, then you can invite them. You can invite them in your place and and tell them to experience the process. Then others can achieve it. So and it's a really happy process. So in this process, actually, we the professionals need to be present, near to people, and make ourselves useful. We the professionals really need to go to the people and make ourselves useful. Thank you.